Hello, lovelies. You like this? Different backdrop for today's video. I've got a pile of laundry on my bed, so I thought I've got a hair appointment today, which is why mine is just absolutely disgusting because I'll go in and let her make it pretty. But I'm gonna do like a quick hack using the brush in reverse. So this is our 30-second hack brush. It's our most popular brush. I want to say we sold something like 30,000 of them last year. The way that the brush is designed to be used is this end for your highlights and that end for your contour. But I found that I like it a lot better, and I feel like I get better, like a more even yet softer coverage if I flip it backwards and use the blunt end for my highlight and the pointy end for my contour. So I'm gonna come in real quick, and I have some like patches of discoloration on my face. So I have to use my highlight all over. You can see it really good right here. I have to use my highlight all over, otherwise my contour really exacerbates that. So I put highlight everywhere, and then I go back over and I contour over it. So I'm going to start with my white peach, which is my under eye color. It's just amazing to watch how this just blends away all the redness and flaws and broken capillaries in my skin just that quick. I recommend 2 highlights for all of my clients because I feel like it just really helps with the 3-dimensional look of your face to have a brighter under eye area than the rest of your face. So I use right now with my fall colors, I'm using white peach there, and then I'll use June on the rest of my face, which is a darker highlight. And it's like 2 steps darker than white peach. And I'm buffing this in as I go, and I'm just tapping this brush into the makeup and buffing it into my face as I go. But I know a lot of people, I have our entire brush collection, and our brush collection is fantastic. And if you are a makeup brush lover, it is worth it to invest in the entire collection because you save money in the long run. It's $160 to get our entire brush collection, which is 7 double-ended brushes, so technically 14 brush heads, 7 brushes. But if you buy them individually, it comes out to about $210 when it's all said and done. So I always let people know, I'm like, if all you can do is one brush, this brush is going to be your best friend. If you can get all of them, it's smart. Or if you're going to want to get all of them, it's smart to wait until you can get the collection so that you save money, because who doesn't want to save money? So I've got all my highlight on already, looking more human. And I'm going to come in. Indigo is the highlight, my highlight of choice. It's our second to darkest one. We just released Cola, which is for our really dark skinned, like our beautiful, ebony skinned black women. That's what Cola is for. But I use it on my eyebrows and as an eyeliner, and it works amazing. So just because you may not be able to contour your face with it does not mean that it's not for you at all. So I'm using the pointy end now to get a more chiseled look to my contour, and I'm just following that cheekbone down, just like that, and sort of hooking it around the little fatty part of my cheek, sort of like a Nike swoosh, not quite as drastic, but sort of. There we go. Just like that. Okay, I'm gonna contour up on my forehead. I'm gonna do this really quickly, and then maybe I'll do an eye makeup tutorial to share after this and just load them separately. There we go. A little bit on my jaw, sort of hide that pretty little, that thing that shows up when you're in your 30s. That's super fun. And then I contour my nose with my finger, and I just sort of pat it in down the edge of the bridge of my nose, like the top edge. And if you have a really narrow nose, you don't have to do this. If you have a really wide nose, make sure you're contouring in, like on the top. You don't want to contour the outside on the outer bridge of your nose. It's going to make it look that much wider. You want to come up and in to really narrow out that nose, and then down it with some of my white peach. And there we go. All of that's on. My favorite, I've been mixing 3 blushes here recently. I've been doing our Dahlia, which is my favorite pink. But since it's fall, I've been adding a little bit of plum in there. It's the best thing about this makeup. It's so versatile. And just a kiss of scarlet. And it makes like the perfect cheek color for me. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to blend over here. I'm going to kind of blend these other areas first around my eye. And I'm just sort of patting this sponge. You don't have to rub with it because I blended a lot while I was rubbing the makeup in. You can also blend with the clean end of your brush. So if you take this brush and rub it off real vigorously on a towel, you can blend with the brush as well if you don't have a blending sponge or don't like the blending sponge. The blending sponge gives a more sheer coverage, which I like. I like my makeup to be more sheer looking. I don't like a heavy full coverage foundation look. If you're more of a full coverage girl, then try blending with your brush. There we go. I'm trying to get this done before my husband gets back from picking up the kids from school. He's actually homesick today, but was feeling a little bit better and I needed to get ready because I have a hair appointment. So I sent Daddy to go pick up big sister and he took the baby with him. Okay, now you can see that spot is kind of showing up. And so what I do is I go in with a slightly lighter color on just on my finger, which is our Astoria. And I'm just gonna pat it into that lighter spot where I've got that weird discoloration. And that'll just cover it right up. Okay, so I've got my HAC on. I'm gonna come in one more time with a really light highlight. This is our Linen, just to really brighten my under eyes. And I'm just gonna press it in right sort of in this corner of my nose. So I'm coming in here and going down the bridge and just out a little bit. So it's like a small triangle. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here. And this is really gonna brighten. You do not wanna use Linen just directly on your skin unless you were color matched for it to be one of your main highlights. If you're super fair skinned, it will look really ashy if you try to just use it on its own. So you definitely wanna use it on top of an already blended highlight that's been color matched to you. So I've got that in, I'm gonna come in and blend it with my sponge, and I've gotta blend that contour on my nose. And then I'm gonna let you guys in on this super cool secret, because like I am an oily skin girl. My skin, I just am. I've tried all the tricks, I've used all the setting sprays, all the powders, all the everything. And so far, I just learned this after being an artist for almost a year, I just learned this like a few weeks ago. If you use dry shampoo as your setting powder, it works wonders if you have oily skin and it does not cake up. It's amazing. And so you definitely want to do it before you do your eye makeup because it will turn your eyebrows and your eyelashes white. But I have a really sensitive nose, and so anything that has like a really perfumey smell I can't use. So the girl who told me about this uses that Not Your Mother's, and she says it works wonderful for her, but the smell of that stuff gives me a headache. So I have to use like a higher end scentless. So I use the Living Proof. It's like a $20 bottle, but it's the best freaking dry shampoo I've ever used. So shake it up, and then I just spray my face. Just like you would your hair. Boo. Anyway, and as it dries, you can see like my eyebrows are starting to turn white. And then what I'll do is I'll get my powder brush after that sets for just a second, and then I just sort of dust off the excess that's like on my eyes and just sort of blend in the rest of it. And that's it, man. My HAC is done. Now I can move on to eyebrows and eyes and then go get my hair done.